Hi, I'm so grateful that you're here. Remember, this genuinely might be the most powerful skill you ever learn for the rest of your life, because most people don't realize how much chronic tension and fascial adhesions can restrict one's naturally designed capabilities of being able to relax fully, breathe deeply, sleep well, focus clearly, even detox efficiently, have proper posture, and move naturally without restrictions. But with this daily guided fascia release sequence, I'm going to help you dissolve these fascial adhesions, reduce tension, move more freely, alleviate pain in these regions by helping you release muscles and trigger points you probably didn't even realize were holding you back. Over the last 9 years of studying bodywork therapies across the globe, combined with being raised by an integrative health doctor and pain therapist, I've created a pretty potent fascia release sequence designed to help you dissolve fascial adhesions caused by the modern lifestyle. And before you get started, I want you to know a few things. There is no rush. The amount of reps and time spent doing a certain technique on a muscle are not set in stone. You have the freedom to pause the tutorial to do more of a certain technique on any muscle at any time. You can follow my schedule of 1 session a day or maybe do 2 a day, but even if you only did 1 per week, you would still notice a massive difference over time. And finally, if you can't do this right now, I really want you to try, so set an alarm and come back and do it when you can. Welcome to the lower body fascia release protocol. I built this protocol to alleviate all the side effects from sitting and the modern human lifestyle. And my goal for you is, after today, you feel so good that you can't wait until you do it again. I personally have been doing this protocol once a week, twice a month, once a month. Usually what happens to me is after I do it, I feel so good. I'm like, I can't wait until I find time to do it again. And I also do bits and pieces of this protocol. You don't have to do the whole entire protocol all together. What's gonna happen today is I'm gonna guide you through all these different muscle lines, trigger points, fascia lines, and you're gonna figure out which ones are the tightest on you, which ones lead to you feeling the best. So whenever you learn that side of your body, you will naturally just want to lay on it and let the fascia melt on those different trigger points. Starting with the feet. The feet are probably the most important part of the whole entire fascia line of the body. They are truly the root to everything. And if your feet are messed up, then the rest of your body will most likely have all sorts of issues and pains. So we're starting off with a warm-up, just doing about 10 passes with the big ball. Now, if this big ball is perfect for you, you can stay on it, or you can go ahead and move to the golf ball. And we are starting on the inside of the first foot. There's going to be 3 lines on the bottom of the foot. We're going to do about 10 to 20 passes along the entire line, searching for a spot that hurts, applying a good amount of pressure to the bottom of the foot. When you find a spot on the muscle line that hurts, there's multiple different options for fascia release techniques. You can always do a static hold, which I highly recommend. I believe it is the most effective form of releasing fascia, but I will not be doing the static holds with you because it will take too much time out of the video. But we're going to go ahead and do 10 flexes and relaxes on the spot along the muscle line that hurts the worst. And if you have multiple spots along this muscle line that hurt, go ahead and do 10 flexes and relaxes on each spot that hurts. And then on our flex and relax, we are gripping the earth. Go ahead and move on to the middle of the foot, doing 10 to 20 slow passes up and down the middle of the foot, searching for any spot along the muscle line that hurts. When you find a place on the muscle line that hurts, feel free to pause the tutorial, do a static hold right on that spot, and practice your 10 flexes and relaxes, trying to grip the earth with your feet. I also want you to know that after you do this protocol 1 or 2 times and you really get the hang of it, you will naturally have a desire to go back and do some of these techniques again. So essentially what I'm saying is you don't have to do the whole entire fascia release protocol all together. You can bring the golf ball down to the couch with you before you watch a movie and just walk your foot on it, do some movements on it, and get it releasing. We're moving on to the last line of the first foot. So we're doing the outside of the foot this time with the golf ball, and we're searching for a spot along the muscle line that hurts. Whenever you find a spot that hurts, option for a static hold, option for 10 flexes and relaxes, full range of motion movements, all the active release techniques, fascia release techniques. And with this whole entire protocol, please pay close attention to which muscles feel the tightest for you, which spots on the muscles hurt the worst for you. And just remember, you can always go do these protocols on your own without the video once you really learn it. Moving on to warm up the opposite foot with the big ball, just getting a little bit of blood flow into that opposite foot before we go in with the targeted treatment of the small ball. I highly recommend doing just this foot protocol once or twice or even 3 or 4 times a week. I understand you will most likely be a little bit sore, like you did a hardcore workout after this protocol. Probably tomorrow, you will most likely feel an intense, pleasurable feeling directly after this protocol, but tomorrow they might be sore. Go ahead and start the targeted treatment with the golf ball on the inside line of the opposite foot, and we are going up and down this entire muscle line on the opposite foot, looking for any spot that hurts. When you find a place on the muscle line that hurts, 10 flexes and relaxes, gripping the earth with your toes, pulling your toes back, moving those muscles through a full range of motion, engaging the muscle all the way, moving the muscle through motion with pressure on the adhesion and the spot that hurts the worst is my favorite fascia release technique, and it seems to do the most deep work for me. All right, go ahead and move on to the middle of the second foot, and we're just doing 10 to 20 passes, going up and down the muscle line, bringing in some blood flow, really using these passes as an opportunity to search for any spot we feel has a fascial adhesion. When we find a fascial adhesion, aka a spot on the muscle line that is tight or hurts, go ahead and stop on that spot. You have the option for a static hold, option for 10 flexes and relaxes, option for 10 full range of motion movements. Remember, you can always go sit on the couch to do this. I want you to be as comfortable as humanly possible when you're doing this and enjoy the entire process. This doesn't need to be like a hardcore workout. You can break up this treatment and bring all these tools down with you in front of the TV and watch a movie while doing this protocol, even if you want. Moving on to the last line of the foot, doing 10 to 20 conscious passes over that outside line on the second foot, looking for a spot that hurts. When you find a spot that hurts, 10 flexes and relaxes. You can always pause the tutorial and do an extended static hold. I highly recommend, if tonight you're going to go sit on the couch and watch a movie, bring the ball with you and do this treatment on the ground. Moving on to foam rolling the shin. We're going to be starting halfway down the shin, going all the way to the foot, and all the way back up. Doing 10 to 20 conscious passes. Feels tight. You can always play with turning your foot a little bit more out, a little bit more square, a little bit more in. After a couple passes and you find a place that's hurt or tight, go ahead and pause on that spot. Apply some pressure to it. So sit harder on it. And we're gonna flex and relax the shin muscle. Moving that muscle through the pressure. This one is huge for me. My toe, I've had big toe problems for a while. Doing this helps me so much. 10 flexes and relaxes with the ankle. Moving the ankle in this kind of motion. If you have pain anywhere in your body, remember this protocol is so helpful for all types of pain because it is treating the roots. Okay, moving on to the top half of the shin. If you're physically unable to do this type of foam rolling, you are also welcome to lay out flat, like in a plank position, and let the foam roller be behind you. Doing 10 passes. After our 10 passes, when we find a place on the muscle line that's tight or hurts, stop on that spot. 10 flexes and relaxes, moving that muscle through a full range of motion with pressure on the spot that hurts. If you're physically unable to do any of these, please post in the community and I will see how I can help you. Moving on to the other leg. I really like the court foam roller because it's so much tougher than regular foam rollers you would find in a gym. So going all the way down to the foot, halfway up the ankle. The bottom half is so important here. It's gonna help your ankles feel so good. Toes feel good. Okay, after 10 to 20 conscious passes, we're gonna stop on a spot that hurts. Breathe, do some full range of motion movements. Because of the big shoe industry and the modern human lifestyle, our feet have really become messed up, and releasing the muscles and fascia in our shins and ankles really alleviates a lot of tightness in our toes. I have a lot of problems here because I kicked a corn bag doing Muay Thai training all through college, and my shins got so big and fat because of all this stagnant tissue. Now I'm trying so hard to alleviate it. All right, moving on to halfway up the shin. Remember, you're welcome to do this protocol laying out flat. I like doing it this way because I can apply more pressure. If at any time during this protocol you find a place on the muscle line that we're doing that is tight or hurts, please feel free to pause the tutorial, do a stagnant hold or full range of motion movements. Moving on to the back inner side, lower half of your lower leg. Okay, moving on to the back inner side of the bottom half of your leg. We're doing just halfway up, halfway down, going all the way down that Achilles to the heel, and then halfway up, basically to the base of the calf muscle, turning our foot inwards. Taking deep breaths. When we find a place on the muscle line that's tight or hurts, you can pause the tutorial, 10 full range of motion movements, pointing that toe. Usually when the muscle's in a shortened position is when it likes to release. So pointing that toe as hard as you can, putting pressure on it, pulling it back. Moving on to the other leg. Pointing our toes slightly inwards, getting that inside angle. You're not on the bone, you're right up against it. 10 passes after you find a place on the muscle line that is tight or hurts. You can pause the tutorial or do it with me. 10 flexes and relaxes. The flexes and relaxes are the main technique for releasing fascia. That's why I like to do them on every single muscle line and every single spot. Especially if you have more than one spot that's tight or hurts, do it on every single spot that's tight or hurts. Okay, moving on to the upper calf into the bottom half of the hamstring, hitting this popliteus, getting the popliteus warmed up before we go in with the big ball and really hit it good. So we're doing the top half, going over the back of the knee, getting a little pressure on that popliteus. The popliteus is, whenever you go look at the research behind the popliteus, it's kind of crazy. I don't want to say anything that gets me flagged medically, okay? Moving on, using the ball now. Now, using the ball, taking it slow, getting up in there, trying to find the popliteus. Whenever you find that popliteus, the action of the popliteus is to turn the foot in. Okay, we're just gonna do like a 30-second, 10 deep breaths with good pressure on the popliteus. The popliteus is a muscle I want to emphasize. Every single human in the world is experiencing popliteus tightness. Okay? Now, when you get a spot on the muscle line, take a couple deep breaths here. Always feel free to pause the tutorial to do more. Just about every person who has torn a ligament in their knee has a extremely tight popliteus. Do a couple full range of motion movements. If you're really looking to improve your athleticism, improve your ability to walk, improve just your overall well-being of your lower body, releasing the popliteus is so vital. Going all the way to the bottom of that hamstring, maybe just a few passes to see if there's anything in there. If you find a place on the muscle line that's tight or hurts, option for a static hold, option for some full range of motion movements. Moving on to the backside of the other leg. Going all the way up and down, going over that popliteus, getting the popliteus warmed up before we go in with the ball and really release it. Taking deep breaths. If you know someone who experiences knee pain, please share this protocol with them. It will work wonders for their knee. This might even be painful enough for you. You don't have to go in with the ball if it's too much. You can always use just the foam roller to do it. Moving on with the ball, if you're capable, starting slow, finding that trigger point on the Popliteus. When you find it, go ahead and rest there. We're gonna take 10 full breaths. I'm curious if anyone is currently trying to increase their vertical jump or their speed, what the difference would be before and after this protocol. I imagine this is gonna make you feel wonderful like it has for me and many other people in the world. And I can't wait to see where this goes. Finding that Popliteus. Right behind the knee. The anatomy figure shows it very well. So always look at the anatomy figures when you're doing these protocols. That's a way better reference than me. I just like doing it with you because then you can see kind of the technique I'm laying down with. And yeah, I can hold your hand through the whole thing. So maybe some full range of motion movements. Hi, I hope your body is experiencing wonderful feelings and that you enjoyed this fascia release routine. Go ahead and do yourself a favor now and schedule your next fascia release routine. And also feel free to go back and repeat the routine you just did. If you have any questions or want to learn more about fascia, I linked my full fascia ebook below and it's completely free. I don't even need your email. You can also post any questions in the community or go through the Understanding Fascia and Common Fascia Questions module. I genuinely can't wait to hear how this goes for you. So please comment and share your experiences on this journey and have a wonderful day, my friend.